Hey everyone, Tony Dragon here, and we all knew this was gonna happen. Honest trailers for Zootopia. I mean, how could you not? Zootopia is such a big deal. It's probably one of Disney's latest and greatest animated films of all time. It was so good, honestly. Yeah, it's so good. Right now, I'm waiting for my Blu-ray to come in from the mail. I ordered it. I pre-ordered it because there were some deleted scenes that the writer promised that I really kind of do want to see, and I just would like to own that movie to have it here in my collection. Um, but yeah, I wasn't originally planning to do reactions for honest trailers, but I realize that they do bring up good points about the movie, kind of like a review, and they might say something I agree with and want to back up, or maybe something I disagree with and I want to counter argument against. Who knows? Because as funny as they are, they're still kind of technically analysis videos of the movie itself. Just a lot with more comedy based, focused on the humor. But they might bring up some good points that I want to listen in on. But anyway, my thoughts on Zootopia is, like I said, it's a great movie. Automatically, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, were there some things that, could have, dropped it down to a 9 out of 10? For me, yeah. Like I said, I kind of saw the twist coming as soon as I heard about, as soon as they declared the night howlers are the flowers, I'm thinking, okay, so someone is using those flowers to affect the predators. Who would benefit from that? Well, the prey. And who is in a position of who is in the most beneficial position, and is a member of the prey. And I'm thinking, well, the new mayor. And as soon as I heard, that the people making the serum are goats, I'm thinking, yeah, it's the new mayor. As soon as I heard that, I kind of put two and two together and thinking, yeah, that's how it's gonna turn out. And then I'm trying to figure out how is it gonna end. Well, it didn't end in a climactic battle. I mean, it had a great train sequence. I mean, it was amazing, but it didn't have this big epic kind of conclusion as most movies that this genre have, like buddy cop movies, because it was a buddy cop movie with a lot more focus on the characters and this introducing this whole new society. And honestly, I was actually surprised by that and kind of happy because it's a lot more subtle and just more subdued, and it just gave it a lot more weight. And I'm also thinking well, they have that carrot, recorder, and that's been a big part of the movie throughout the whole thing. I'm thinking yeah, that's right, Nick has it. He can use, and she's divulging the whole plan. I'm thinking oh, they're recording this. They're recording. It's so simple. Why are you talking? Why are you doing this? To be fair, she didn't know about the recorder, and as viewers, we did. And I'm thinking yeah, they got the recorder. She's just giving the whole plan away. And I will say, someone did bring up a good point. The song they chose for it wasn't that memorable. And yeah, it's true. While it wasn't that memorable, it was still very nice and catchy, and did have some connection to the story. I mean, they got Shakira specifically, and she had some changes she wanted to make to her character, Gazelle. So yeah, the song was directly made for the movie, so it worked. Maybe it may not have been as big as Let It Go, but I mean, really, what else is it? How are you gonna top that? When that song is still stuck in people's heads. Thank God it's not stuck in mine anymore. Jesus Christ, that was a terrible 3 months for me. And yeah, one other thing I kind of wanted to see in Zootopia is more fleshed out, to flesh out the society a bit more. not like show us more districts like they were planning to, because I can understand why it would have been too much to show and then to cut that out. But I'm talking about like more celebrities. Now I don't mean like celebrity voice actors playing other characters. I'm talking about actual celebrities like they did with Gazelle. Like they clearly had actors because they had these bootleg movies. I'm thinking Wreck-It Rhino or Wrangled, with a horse in place of Rapunzel. And I'm thinking, like, why didn't we see any of these celebrities? Why aren't they as big as Gazelle? All we see is Gazelle, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, is she, like, the only celebrity? Like, what is going on? It's like, Jesus Christ, she must have the whole entertainment industry under her thumb or something. She's like the Oprah of this world or something, because she's the only one on camera. And I think, and even just like a little, like, small scenes, like maybe a red carpet premiere or on the news, on TV or something, I just would have liked to see kind of like how other celebrities in this world would be, like movie actors or maybe like other politicians. Well, there was only the mayor, so and technically that's the case, like the president. Like, I don't know. But something like that, just to give it a bit more lively feeling. I was already, very alive, already as it is. I just would have liked a little bit more. And honestly, when the only complaint I have about a movie is that I want to see more of it, that's a good sign. So maybe Zootopia 2 will have more of that. Maybe they'll have some of the other districts that they left out. Maybe they'll have other celebrities, in world celebrities. Not like, get all the celebrity voice actors you can and just shove it in there. Like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, characters like Gazelle, fleshed out characters, that are actors or movie stars, something like that. News anchors. Well, we did have news anchors. Yeah, we did have news anchors. Yeah, forget that part. But, yeah, there might be more I wanted to talk about, but I'm forgetting at the moment. And I'm already talking for too long. Let's just start Honest Trailers Zootopia. So, let's see what they have to say. Alright, starting the video on 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
From Pixney, Disnar. Man, these two are really starting to blend together. Comes a Disney animated film that grossed $1 billion and finally got people to stop talking about Frozen. Let it go.
Damn it!
Journey to Zootopia, a place with 12 unique ecosystems and one generic pop song. In this city, it's either an impossibly advanced paradise where animals live together in harmony, or a palace built by our mammal overlords in the ashes of our extinct human world after war and famine wiped out the earth. One of the two. Fall in love with smart, complex animal characters and their lazy, forced pun names.
His name is Emmett Otterton. It's Weaselton. Duke Weaselton.
Yeah.
Or Benjamin Clawhauser.
Like Judy Hopps. Get it? Because she's...
Yeah, the names were not that creative, but
Actually, cinema's only like old Mina Raid. Because seriously, Mina Raids are the worst. I mean, come on, I was only in there for like 5 minutes. And no, you haven't written the little ticket yet, because I can see your stupid little machine right there. Get a real job, lady.
My mommy said she wishes you were dead.
So do I. Get it together, man. When Hobbs teams up with Foxy con artist Nick Wilde, they'll work together to catch more predators than Chris Hansen and form a sort of romance. You know you love me.
Do I know that? Yes.
yeah,
Yes, I do.
that's something.
Sadly, they'll never be able to consummate. Not because I'm speciesist or anything, it's just that nobody in this movie has any genitals. Or even a butthole. Seriously, how does anyone even go to the bathroom in this place? Follow along with
Oh,
this
come on,
kids'
they
film
can't
noir
be
crime
show.
thriller, full of bright colors, cute characters, allegories to contemporary racial and class politics.
I don't like them.
Oh, there's a them now.
Yeah.
It's discrimination.
You think I'm going to believe a fox?
Affirmative action.
Mammal Inclusion Initiative.
Tokenism.
Sir, I'm not just some token bunny.
Sexism.
So are all rabbits bad drivers, or is it just you?
That's not a sex
First,
thing,
bunny
guys.
can call another bunny cute, but when other animals do it, it's a little...
They will either teach your kid to be more tolerant, or turn them into a furry. So settle in for a fantastic animated, well-told lesson about disproving stereotypes. Even though the fox character really is sneaky, the weasels do cheat, and the sloths are slow. Oh, wait, no. The Does this mean I'm racist? I owned a bunch of rabbits when I was a kid. I mean, no, they were mine, but not that not that they're property or... Oh, look, I love rabbits, okay? They came out all wrong. Go to starring. Starring NYPD Blue. The part in the trailer that made you want to see the movie. Bubba Luther. Bad. Mayor Mufasa. Shakira as Shakira.
Yeah.
Your stereotypical Italian mobster.
Hey, he was cool.
Stereotypical donut-eating cop. Your stereotypical dumb southerner. And Hot Buzz. You get it? Because she's a funny cop, but she's hot too. Wait, I can say that she's hot though, right? Dang it, am I a racist and a furry now? Oh, this movie is such a minefield. Paul, in order.
Nice.
Let's see, Pig Hero 6, Wrangled, Wreck-It Rhino. I wonder what they think of Lion King and the Jungle Book. Are they like documentaries? Be sure to subscribe.
Probably. That's a good analysis right there. That's a good question to ask.
Around the corner, and we want you
Oh,
to
man.
join us there for the most epic Screen Junkies Comic-Con experience of all
Yeah,
time.
so yeah, that is a thing that is one thing I wanted to bring up that I kind of forgot about because it didn't really matter to me. It's not a sexist thing. I really hate that they're doing that because it's not because she's a female. It's because she's a certain species that is not normally implemented into the police force for one big reason. She's small, and a lot of the criminals they might chase down are huge and can probably easily overpower her. Like, they clearly had a female officer already, the elephant, remember? If you remember, it was her birthday, they brought it up. That was female. She was a female. The difference was she was huge. She can easily, capture a criminal with, without any, much resistance. And as great as Judy was at her job, she didn't get much time or opportunity to prove that to her other fellow officers and in that precinct. So it made sense why they were hesitant to actually put her on the field and actually handle dangerous missions. So it's not a sex thing, and I hate that people do that. But it is true. This movie did bring up a lot of other good points. Racism, and affirmative action. How some people, politicians at least, force agendas and only just trying to win, popular vote. And that can both be a good thing and a bad thing. Because if you're doing it for the, if you're putting people in a position where they're normally not supposed to be, they can end up getting hurt or hurting others. And, it doesn't benefit anyone. Even if in the end it does benefit you, that's not how you should run your city or country, at least. And the fact that this movie can actually bring up these kinds of discussions is, again, one of the reasons I would put it at 10 out of 10. Because while there were some things that could have been done a bit better, and I'm hoping that's going to be addressed in Zootopia 2, there was so much more, good about this movie that just overshadowed all of that. And they agree with me, it was a kind of a generic song, but it did kind of fit for the theme of the movie. To an extent. I mean, they couldn't really bring in a song that was talking about, racism and, stereotypical, police profiling. And it's kind of true, they bring up the stereotypes as wrong in this movie, but a lot of the characters are stereotypes to a certain extent. But I bring up the point that stereotypes actually do exist. There are people that live up to their stereotypes. And remember, Nick himself said if he was going to be seen as this one type of person, then that's what he's going to give them. If he's never going to be able to escape that, stereotype of being a fox, then he's just going to live up to it and, make it his own, make a life out of that. And, that's actually, a very realistic problem that, if someone is constantly raised having a certain stereotype of, his race pounded into his head from early childhood, then he's going to grow up kind of believing that's all he's ever going to be, and he's just going to live up to that and end up, being what everyone expects him to be. And it's sad that it happens, but it does. Another thing, yeah, the general thing, like that's an obvious one. I mean, it's Disney, Pixar, or Pixney or Disney, like they said. Yeah, they're just kind of becoming the same thing at this point. I think the only ones that are competition directly competing against Disney and Pixar are DreamWorks and Illumination. Illumination still doesn't have the amount of credibility in terms of deep storylines just yet. I mean, they had Despicable Me, and while that was good, it's more memorable because of its comedy than its story. I mean, the story is great too, but that's a different discussion. But like I was saying, the genital thing. I went from genitals to Illumination. I found the light. Ah. Anyway, yeah, they're not gonna show buttholes and penises, obviously. So yeah, they're just pointing fun at that. So that's not really a real criticism that you can honestly have about the movie. But that does bring up a good point. Is like a lot of people kind of wish that Nick and Judy end up together, and a lot of people say they did end up together from the final scene. Like, you love me. It's like, honestly, love in that context was more like you love me as a friend. But honestly, if you ask my opinion, would I like to see Nick and Judy in a romantic relationship? Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. In fact, I can believe it happens. In fact, even the writer himself seemed to be, fond of the idea. Obviously they couldn't put it here because there was already so much going on, and they just couldn't just jump into a romantic relationship because it's supposed to be a natural thing you develop into. But Nick and Judy starting, now that they're, really good friends, I can, if they did it in Zootopia 2, like they ended up in a romantic relationship, I would believe it because a lot of, romantic relationships do start off in friendships. Or at least with, a deep bond of trust, at least. And these two have it now. And they're pretty well-developed characters, by themselves as well. So, and that really helps, even out a couple. Because a couple, while many people like to believe them as one entity, they're not. They're two individuals, forming, a team of sorts. And they need to balance themselves out. And Nick and Judy kind of do that. But yeah, if that does become a thing in Zootopia 2, that would bring up a good question. Like, is it possible for, interspecial relationships? Like, can a fox and a bunny actually date each other without any, societal, issues? Is that even a thing here? Because we see like the only real couple we actually see on screen is the Ottertons. Like, they're legitimately married, have kids, but they're both auditors. So I'm wondering, like, are there certain laws against interspecies relationships, or is it more of a you can date whoever you want, but there's a good chance you can never have children because since you're different species, you can't have children. It's just impossible. Either issue, if you bring it up, is something to really look into. Yeah, but but maybe they'll come up with a different idea of how Zootopia 2 needs to go. Maybe another another social issue. Maybe I have no idea. Maybe they can actually go darker like they were originally planning. I like how they said originally they were planning for Nick to be the main character, but from his point of view, the audience would come to hate Zootopia and really look at it as like it's a horrible place. We'd become just as cynical as Nick would, and that's kind of funny to think about because as soon as they send it to Judy, it's like we're seeing Zootopia as like it's so many possibilities, so much potential. Yeah, it's horrible on some aspects, but it can be you can achieve greatness. But if we probably saw it the entire time from Nick's perspective, we think, no, it needs to burn. Just take the whole thing down and start over. And yeah, it really does emphasize, points of views from certain individuals can completely change in a person's outlook on, a city, a society, or just a world in general. But I've delved probably too much. It's turning out less like a reaction to a funny, honest trailers, and into an actual deep analysis of the Zootopia movie. My own personal review of Zootopia. I might actually do that. Maybe if I get when I get my DVD and then I watch it multiple times, I might have things to say. But then again, I probably just said everything I needed to say right here. Well, fuck me, right? But anyway, yeah. Jesus Christ, 20 minutes for a 4-minute video. I'm sorry. You're probably gone by now. Either way, the next time I see you guys will probably be for another Honest Trailers. Maybe, maybe not. Like I said, I'm not really fond of the idea of reacting to all the Honest Trailers. Maybe if the next movie is like something I watched and I really, am curious about what they think, I might do that. So, or maybe just like a fun movie I remember from as a kid. I don't know, or a TV show, because they nowadays, they kind of vary. Either way, so next time I see you guys will be for one of the Honest Trailers. I don't know which one. So until then, I'm Tony Dragon. Bye bye.